unforgettable. That's what you are. Unforgettable. Though near or far, like a song of love that clings to me. How the thought of you does things to me. Never before has someone done more. Unforgettable in every way, and forevermore. That's how you'll stay. That's why, darling, it's incredible that someone so unforgettable thinks that I am unforgettable too. Unforgettable in every way, and forevermore. That's how you'll stay. That's why, darling, it's incredible that someone so unforgettable thinks that I am unforgettable too. Ole'Pops here. How are y'all? How are my friends at the YTPC? You know, I was proud to be able to play a little bit of Unforgettable for you by Nat King Cole. I was watching my TV Saturday morning, watching a veterinary show, and my phone rang, and it was a number that I didn't quite recognize. Can't get this pipe lit. By the way, I'm smoking some Sutliff vanilla custard thanks to Mel Harris, the garbage man piper, from a couple years ago. Well, last year sometime. And smoking my songwriter. But anyway, it was a number that I didn't recognize when my phone rang, and I almost didn't answer it. But I watched these veterinarians save a couple of puppies, and I got my daily dose of moral fiber. So Ole'Pops was ready for a confrontation. Thought it was a spam caller, so I went on ahead and answered it. And it turned out, to my surprise, a pleasant conversation with one of my good friends from the YTPC that I haven't heard the voice of in quite some time. And I had a nice conversation with them. Very, very pleasant morning. Nice conversation. And then about 30 minutes after I hung up from them, I got a text from another dear friend from the YTPC. And we talked, we exchanged a few lines, and it was awesome to hear from them. Just a couple of reasons that keep Ole'Pops around, keep me coming back. And then I decided to sign on and see what was going on. I watched a few videos and saw some of the prayer requests that were going on, some of the reasons for thoughts and requests that were going on, and I just wanted to let y'all know Ole'Pops is keeping y'all in my thoughts and in my prayers, and I think on y'all often, I really do. But I saw on there, on several of my videos, a bunch of y'all asking on me, and asking how things were going. And I want y'all to know how much I appreciate it. I do. And just thought maybe I'd take this minute to ask for some of those thoughts and prayer requests myself. Not that I got anything specific going on in my life that you care anything about, but maybe it's just because I'm a narcissist. But just keep me in your thoughts, if you would. I'll see about being a little more present. At least a little more present. But Anyway, y'all seen these stars that you get on your driver's license these days? I went back last August and got mine on my driver's license. I had to take Jilly this morning and get her state ID. She had to get the star on her ID so she could fly and get into government buildings, like she's got any business in a government building. But we got there this morning. Maybe I just need a tamp. No, that's packed too tight. That's what the problem is. Anyway. Anyway, the line was so blasted long. They said that if anybody was there that knew why they were there and all they needed was to get their picture took and fill out the paperwork, that they could move on over to the kiosk and do it from the kiosk. And we looked over at the kiosk and the line was just twice as long as the regular driver's license line. And then a lady came out and said, well, if you know what you're doing, and if you've done this before, why, you can do this from our website. If you have a cell phone, you can do this from the application on our website. Just get on your cell phone and fill out the application there, and then download it, and we can read it from our computer when your number is called. So we got on their website and was filling out the applications, and I was helping her with the paperwork. And every time I tried to fill out the word married, it kept changing the word married to martyred. I'd erase it and go back and put in married, and autocorrect would change it to martyred. I tell you, autocorrect's getting smart. It's getting smarter every day. She said, is that a mistake? And I told her, I said, I don't know if it's a mistake or not, or if autocorrect's just getting smarter, because every morning when I text you that I'm going on a morning run, it always changes it to morning rum. So I think it's just getting smarter. It knows something that I don't know. But some things it comes up with I agree with, and some things I don't. But they finally called her number. They pulled her application that we'd filled out. They asked for her paperwork. She said, were we supposed to bring paperwork? But like I said, I'd done this back in August, and I knew what she was supposed to have. And I had put it in an envelope and brought it with us. They wanted her 2 forms of identification, not counting her driver's license. They wanted her birth certificate and her social security card. And then they wanted proof of, a valid proof of address. It could be a bill of some sort, or like a utility bill, or a mortgage payment or something like that. But she said, what was I supposed to bring? And I told her, I said, a letter of apology from the government that you're now indentured, and proof that you're no longer sovereign. And she said, what? I don't have that. And that lady that was behind the counter, her jaw hit her chest. And I thought to myself then, I said, oh boy, we got us a real winner. So I just looked over at Jill and I said, your birth certificate, your social security card. So I reached in the folder and I pulled them out. That lady looked up at me and she said, "You're a real wise guy, aren't you?" I told her, I said, "Hey, look, my life's an open book. But you know, parts of it aren't very well written. I already know I'd die in the end. But you know, I figure if God's watching, might as well keep it entertaining for him." She said, "It's a good thing we don't have to see you every day." And I told her, I said, "Yeah, well, you know, the trick to really enjoying people that you don't get along with is not spend a whole lot of time with them." Ow. Then she really put her foot in her mouth with Ole'Pops. She said, "All right, this is a government building, government office. We're busy." She said, "Let's get you out of here." I looked down at Jill and I said, what she really means is what has 10 arms and a total IQ of 80 for 600, Alex. She looked up at me with a total expression of humiliation on her face. I told her, I said, I know. I'm rubber, you're glue. I got you. She's tape. He's a stapler. That guy over there's a roll of tape. He's a box of paper clip. Hell, she'll sit down and have your picture made before her computer crashes. For God's sakes. William, I'm going to the car. These people are busy. Anyway, by that time everybody was staring at us anyway. They took her picture and gave her a little temporary paper card. They said her plastic one with the gold star on it would be in the permanent 8-year thing. Well, not permanent, but the one that lasts 8 years. It'd be in the mail in about 5 to 10 days, business days. I thought to myself, I said, God, I've pissed Jill off. I'm in trouble. Then she come walking out to the Jeep. She handed me her card. I looked at the picture on it. She's got a shit-eating grin from ear to ear, and I thought to myself, I said, after we left from there, she wanted to go do a little Christmas shopping. Like, we got Christmas shopping money. She wanted to go look at some essential oils. Gracie, Mini-Me, likes to burn essential oils in a diffuser. We got dogs, and Jill, by the way, I'm drinking coffee. You see candle back here. Jill likes burning candles. Gracie, see the diffuser back here. Gracie likes burning essential oils in a diffuser. There's some, essential oils that you can't burn. They all, both of them like the house to smell good. Of course, I like the house to smell good myself, but there's some diffusers or some smells, some oils, because of the dogs that you can't burn or put. I say burn, I don't know if it's burning or what it's doing in the diffuser, but it spits it out in a mist in the air. And because of the dogs, you can't put some scents in the air when dogs are in the house. It does something to their vital organs, like orange, citrus smells. Messes with their kidneys, and peppermint, I think, does something to them neurologically. Of course, if I was any smarter, I'd know a whole lot more about it. But Julie was looking at some patchouli and amber, and it was $6.99 a bottle. And then she was looking at some Israeli sandalwood that was supposed to be, both of them 1.5 ounce bottles. And this Israeli sandalwood was $65 a bottle. I bought her the patchouli and amber, and I told her what she could do is she could ask God to bring her the Israeli sandalwood. Either that or she could steal it and ask God to forgive her. But it don't work that way. It's not how God works. She was happy to get the patchouli the patchouli amber, but and that was the extent of our aromatic shopping, aromatherapy shopping. I told her, I said, aromatherapy, the extent of aromatherapy for me is I just walk around sniffing stuff and hope and think happy thoughts. That's aromatherapy for me. When we got back to the house, we ordered a pizza. It was raining hard. When the pizza got there, I was back in the bedroom. She answered the door. It seemed like the kid, she delivered pizzas for 28 years, so she knows the hows and whys of pizza delivery. So the guy came with the pizza, but he pulled his car into our yard up close to the door to keep from getting wet. Into our yard. Now you talking about making ruts in a yard. Pull the car in the yard because it was raining. Now them pizzas come in a bag, in a heat bag, and them bags are waterproof, so it wasn't because our pizza was going to get wet, because it wasn't going to get wet. But he pulled our car in the yard. Well, she come into the bedroom where I was, and she said, won't you take care of this? Won't you pay him? And I said, how do we take care of this? And she said, pay him in change. She said, but take your time doing it. She said, make sure you take your time. She said, they get into a routine. They get into what she calls a cycle, a pattern. She said, break his pattern. She said, go break his pattern. So I went out there and I put on a Santa hat, took a magic wand out there with me, took a stick, and went out there and paid him in change with a magic wand, and made sure I found every piece of change that I gave him behind his ear, you know, and just, oh, here's another piece of hocus pocus, here's another, you know. It took all night, but I finally got him paid. So I tell you, Marco's, next time we order a pizza, they're going to argue over who has to deliver to the Joneses. He got $1.25 tip because I had extra change. Went out today and looked, and he did. He left some ruts and made $1.25 change, but I know it just ruined his night because it took me about 45 minutes to pay him. We ate cold pizza. Hey, listen, for all y'all that don't know, if you're reheating a pizza, take a skillet, set it on a stove, a non-stick skillet, set it on a stove, and lay your pizza toppings down, and warm your toppings first. Then turn them over and warm the crust. A couple of minutes on each side, not long enough to burn the crust. Just a couple of minutes on each side, then put it back on your plate. That'll warm a pizza better than anybody. I learned that from my wife. She delivered pizzas for 28 years. Non-stick skillet. Don't put it in the microwave. It'll make the dough tough. A skillet, a non-stick skillet on the stove top. But anyway, I just wanted to get on here and say, hey, tell y'all I'm still around. Y'all have a Merry Christmas. I'll be seeing you. I'm Ole'Pops.